All right, so on the Facebook Audience Insights, so for this, and I just have a bookmark because it always takes me a while to find it, so I happen to have a bookmark. Again, this is a tool from Facebook that is built basically to help people tailor their ads, right? To understand the market and find targeting on Facebook for their ads. But what I realized is my background in research is it allows me to also learn about the target market I'm going after, right? So
Yeah.
let's say, I mean, do you have a specific example of like a type of target market you'd want to play with, or I can just make something up?
I'll have you make something up.
Okay. So so let's do Python programmers, right? People who program in the programming language Python. Um, so on this screen right now, see how the dark blue and the gray they're all equal. There's actually two bars there. It just doesn't look like it, but there really are two bars. Um,
Yes.
and this is showing you, and here it says it twice, right? All Facebook and then women are 54% and 46%. That's because I haven't added any targeting.
Right.
Okay. The second I start saying now I want to start targeting, and we'll start targeting off of Python. Look, Python programming. Now see how that shifted to okay. All of Facebook is 54% um, women, and yet 50 overall 59%. That's actually interesting. More women than men have said that they're into Python programming. Although you do see the younger ones, are much less regardless, right? 18 to 24, which is surprising to me. But then older ones are more likely to be using Python or say that they like Python, I should say.
Okay.
And then here, what it does is it's really awesome. Is it sorts it by what makes the biggest difference. And so here is like the lifestyle profiles, and we can actually it goes a lot more. So people who are classified as country enthusiasts or country ways, clubs and causes. These are those that are more likely to say they're Python enthusiasts. And then the bottom, summit estates and careers and travel are less likely, right? So they're under indexed um,
Okay.
on the relationship status. So interesting enough, they're more likely to be married than the general Facebook audience and less likely to be single. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Um, I'm surprised at this. Oh, okay. So grad school. So they are 22% higher. I mean, that is a lot higher. It's still overall not a ton, but there's just not that many people that are grad school. Have a grad school degree. So that's why they're over indexed there. And then here by job title, right? So if you were targeting like you could, the IT and technical, computer mathematics, all of this makes very easy to look at it and go, yeah, that seems accurate, right? Because
Wow.
they're much more likely to have these titles um, and then they're much less likely to be in the military or work in sales or food preparation, right? Which is obvious, right? So for this case, but if you
Yeah.
didn't know, if you picked medical something or other, right?
Hmm.
This could really be interesting to see their titles and the what are these called lifestyle profiles. But then here are the things that page likes, right? So these are the pages they're into Udemy and these other technical things. Oh wait, sorry, that's the categories. These are the actual page likes. TechCrunch, Udemy, Coach. So these are actual pages that you could outside of Facebook, right? You could maybe try to rent their lists, right, or just do ads on their sites. Um, but it helps you understand that like which ones are more likely to be interested in,
That's interesting.
and it helps you give you the size of the audience too, right? Which
Wow.
is so here's apparently that's the Facebook audience versus the I guess the general audience. I hadn't seen that before. Um, yeah, and then you can see it by location. So this can help you identify hotspots and markets, which not surprising, right? Sunnyvale, California, or, things in that area.
Wow.
It depending on the how and look how much more likely right they are to be there. That's a huge bump. Um, but we could also say, you know what? I just wanted to do this in Texas, and now I can look even just within Texas, right, and say,
Hmm.
oh, Austin is a hotbed. I mean, well, actually, it's a big
Wow.
market, I should say. But for some reason, Bedford and Hearst, those are around us, right? I don't know where the.
Burleson is
Hmm.
DeSoto. Yeah.
So yeah, you can be, it just depends on how specific you want to be. Um,
Wow.
and that's the thing. You could spend some time, but you could go through each state and just go through each state and look at how they're laid out in the state, right? That's
Wow.
why I'm like, or we could just focus just on men. I mean, it's amazing what you can, and figure their ages and stuff. Um, and so here's their differences in their activities and stuff that they actually. That's interesting. Is they're very active. I find what we need, what would need to be done really is I think there's a lot of people who are just active on Facebook, and when it compares it to the overall, like things about the frequency of activities,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people on Facebook that just are not active at all. And so, what would be better would be to say, let's compare Python programmers to um, SQL programmers,
Okay.
right? And that way, you kind of get rid of the dead weight that just don't do anything, right? As far
Right.
as activity stuff. Um, but here it's interesting. Let's see, what is that? So they're more likely to be Android, which actually that makes a lot of sense
So
because
you actually just let those ones that are inactive kind of roll off in your target, or you have to just kind of take those in too?
on this in particular one, I don't know of a way. Maybe you can, because I think in here you could add. There are other things. I mean, it's amazing. Like I didn't really. Oh, this is the custom. This is where you can add your own list, right? So I imported contacts just to target them, just to test and play with it. But somewhere over here, I'm not seeing it for some reason. Um, oh, here we go. So you can break it out off of any of these things, right? And some of them are really amazing. Um, let's
Wow.
so you can be very specific. What I was hoping for was something about like their online activities, right? And that would allow us to say, let's drop out those that haven't been active in the last year or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So my guess is that it's it's possible, but I haven't played with it enough. Yeah, it is just it's insane, like the level you can go to.
It is very insane.
Yeah, and it's all like I said, it's all free, right? You can do all this stuff without even spending any money. And then here's let's because I want to show you a couple more. Come on. Apparently, oh, I'm on. No, I'm not on household. I don't know why.
Oh, it's because I think you're on cities in Asia.
What cities in Asia?
Yeah, it's like top cities, and for some reason you're in Vietnam, and
Yeah, I see that. I see it here now. I'm trying to figure out where did I.
where did you? How did you get there?
Yeah. See, I don't see anything
Huh.
under. Let me see if I can just go back a couple pages and if it'll undo it. Oh, here's my. Okay, I think we're good. And I still have Python. Yeah, there we go. So households. Um, yeah, you can just look around. I mean, there's an amazing amount of stuff. But again, this is just like the first bit of understanding. Your target market, right? Because
Right.
then after you do all that, then you could say, now let's say that we are Python program. We're targeting them, but then we also want to. Oh, this is still a. No, where? How do I get rid of that? That seems like it's not. The advanced thing isn't disappearing. Ah, there we go. Oh, this is what I was looking for. So so these are my pages, right? So I can say people that have connected to my page. which I don't have a big enough group, right? Which is why, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I do under the other one. Cool. Um, and have not connected to other pages that I own.
Okay.
And so you can that way you're spending money on those that you haven't like already got yet.
Okay. I remember you talking about this. Yeah.
Or that you have that you want to keep your audience engaged, right? And so you can target just those that have done stuff on your site, right, or whatever, have liked your stuff. So all of this you can go in and figure out your target market and then go make ads to them. Okay.
Okay.
Now let me click this other link. It's going to pull up here. So here is an ad. I hope this will come to it because I have a hard time. Yeah, this is close. So yeah, oh perfect. So I ran, and somewhere in here I could show it. Let me see if I can pop that open. I created this ad. I was just playing around, right? And I created an ad on Facebook and ran it. I thought if I clicked that, it would show it. This is basically it. It doesn't really matter, but I had an image and I had some text, right? And then what I did was, so here is showing by age and gender, right? So here's men on this side and women on this side, and it allowed me to see the reach and clicks. But I think I have also of like there was, so each of these, if you did the math, there's the reach and then clicks, and you can see who actually is more likely. Even though I reached a certain amount, they were much more likely to click, right?
Yeah.
So I can see performance by age groups and gender, but that's what I'm focused on here. This breakdown allows me to look at different. I don't know if you see that graph up above. It apparently doesn't do it for. Oh, and impressions. That's even better. This breakdown here, I think, was much more granular. Allows me to see at different levels. Then I like the graph because it's really quick and easy to see. But all the numbers are really what matter. And it would allow me. So let's say I created 5 different ads, right? I could do split sample testing for the same type of ad, but just changing the. That's why I wanted to show you the actual ad itself.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and I think. Yeah, I think this was. I had a couple different versions, right? And I was testing to see which ones, how they worked. And that way you could do a random side by side of just testing different things and seeing what works and what doesn't.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a pretty cheap, easy way to one, understand your market, and then after that to be able to target them and then test specific things about, like back to the this audience insights. We could say, we were targeting people interested in Python, and we get all the information, but then we could say, now I want people who were interested in Python and SQL, right? And let's say that was a competitor, right? And so you can find people who like the competitive products, right, and target them with Python stuff.
Got it.
Right? And it's like, gee, I mean, this is what. Well, I'm recording this. I don't want to say it, but I'm like, when I shared it with our vendor, right? And they're like, well, I don't understand the value in that. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't know what to say to that. Yeah. All right, so that was the Facebook one, and then the other one I briefly touched on, but I'm gonna do my best to at least show you an intro on it. But I have